Hi guys, you're welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's Reality Pearl and today I'm reviewing the Mommy Club. I'm so sorry I haven't uploaded for a while. I've been really busy and that's why I missed last episode. I don't know if you'll even noticed, okay? It's okay, it's alright. I've missed you guys. Today I will do a review of the Mommy Club episode 7 and 8. So let's jump in. It's going to be a long ride. And guys, you already know what to do to support my channel. So go ahead and do just that. Okay? Thank you so very much. So yeah, episode 7 started with Nunu and her friend roasting Omukle. Hey, good. When she mentioned to her friend that Omukle said to her that they don't have satellites in Bulawayo, her friend literally went off. She was like, what? Like, what did she say? She said her show is even on SABC1. It's not even on cable. And she has the guts to say that. Like, why would she say that? You understand? And I think her friend is also Zimbabwean, right? Because the way she went off, you'll know that she took it very personal. Her friend was like, who even watches SABC? That's like the ghetto, you know? She's not even on Mnet or like an international platform like Showmax, something like that. Her friend said, you should tell her that she's only famous in her village, okay? They both finished her, I won't lie, okay? They both finished her, seriously. Nunu said some people will just get small jobs and manage to buy small Gucci, and the next thing you know, they are feeling like princesses. It's like what they say, when you see new money, you will know. They are loud and like show off. That already sounds like two people in this group, Omokle and Happy, of course. The roasting was hilarious, okay? I laughed so much. I don't even know why. Anyway, moving forward, Happy invited Ratile for a walk, and I was like as surprised as Happy when Ratile came wearing leather. Like, Happy was like, huh? Under this hot sun? I actually started sweating where I was. Like, seriously. Okay. Ratile walks her doors wearing leather. Please. I beg. Zobo, hot Zobo. That's how we call it where I'm from, okay? Who is she telling that? Anyway, Happy expressed her disappointment to Ratile for calling her a cloud chaser. I've said this before. I get Ratile's frustration. It's the fact that this person, Happy now, is just about content. Her life experiences, everything about her is content for her. What extent will she go for the views? It's a valid concern, you know, and in real life, you don't trust people like that around you, and that's a fact. Ratile said to Happy that she told her something in private, and the next thing she knew, it was everywhere. Why does everything about her have to be so blown out of proportion, so extreme, you know? She was like, she doesn't understand that. She said, who does that? Is it you or the people around you? How do you even cope with such a life? Happy said, that's exactly the first thing you should have said. Okay, that's exactly the first thing that you should have thought about. How am I doing with all of these things going on around me, with all the things that I've been through? Oh my God. Ratile can't win this, you know. As much as I see where she's coming from, it's still like, you know, I don't know. She can't win. She can't just win it because Happy also has a point. But I'll tell you why I think Ratile lost to Happy.
You must give people content, my darling. You know, and everyone who almost fall in the victim, that's our best. They are coming out. Why not me? According to Ratile, I was supposed to die.
Of course, that was a dramatic response from Happy. But it was Ratile's response in her confessional that shocked me the most.
Not saying it in a bad way. Whether Happy lives or doesn't live, it really doesn't affect me, and it doesn't change the price of bread.
And yeah, this is the thing that's strange about Ratile. She's speaking facts, okay? But she manages to do it in such a way that it really comes off as abrasive. Happy said to her, maybe I trend because, you know, I have a lot of followers on socials. And that's a fact, okay? But Ratile said, or maybe you plan it and post it in such a way that it will trend. I was like, what? I must have rolled my eyes. Like, in fact, throughout this scene, I must have rolled my eyes so many times because they were hurting at this point. Happy said that was rude. You're very rude. Like, let's just say these two will never see eye to eye on this matter, okay? And they had to agree to disagree, right? Happy said that she was just about 60% okay with Ratile. And Ratile, I don't know. I don't know if she really apologized because what I heard her say wasn't really an apology. But she said to Happy that she's still open to having a friendship with her. And yeah, that was it. Moving forward, guys, this scene broke my heart into a million pieces. I'm not exaggerating. It's not like we've not heard Titi say this before. No matter how many times I hear it, it's hard not to cry. I don't know how to go about this sin. I wish I would just skip it. But let's talk about it. So her therapist came to the house. She asked Titi, how is her relationship with her mom? Titi was like, it was pretty good. The fact that she's been treating her like the other kids. She's been, buying the same things that she buys for them. And I was like, what? It's kind of funny, but these things are happening, So Happy didn't used to do that. She didn't used to treat them equally because she probably wanted to please her husband at the time. Titi said her stepdad never wanted her. She has always said that. She said they don't have any relationship and that the man would tell Happy that Titi would ruin their marriage. So basically, he would threaten Happy to choose between her marriage and her daughter. And Happy, and this is what the average woman out there would do as well. Truth be told, okay? Truth be told. So yeah, Happy always chose her marriage over her little girl. Ladies, single moms now, actually, because I know most of my viewers are my gender. Please, any man that gives you such ultimatums is not, in fact, is not your man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much he claims to love you. If he doesn't love your kids as much, you better run, okay? Happy and her husband caused this girl so much trauma. No child deserves that. And this girl, like Titi, she's such a darling. She said, I've not stopped calling him dad even till today. My mom didn't want us to call him dad. Which brings me to the question, what did she mean by, I thought her other kids were her late husband's children. Is the second daughter not his child? Please let me know in the comments, guys. Now, when the therapist asked her who she needed to forgive, she said she needed to forgive herself and her mom as well. I don't know how in fact, Happy is just lucky. And then, guys, she said something in the confessional.
Disappoint me again, my pain.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that meant. So I looked it up. I'm reading straight from Google now. Mamela is someone who always makes mistakes and is a disappointment. This is what this girl calls herself. Titi just needs, I don't know, she just needs wholesomeness. She needs, I just pray that she gets healing in form of the acceptance, in form of the kind of love that she needs. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if Happy can give that to her. That's what I've been trying not to say. I'm sorry that I have such an opinion, but it has to be said. We saw Mrs. Mobbs and Happy at a shooting range. They later talked about the last event they had, and Happy said she didn't like that Omukle, as a co-host, had several altercations with several people at her own events. And that's true. As a host, calmed down a bit. She should have, toned it down a bit. Mrs. Mobbs at that point, she was like, that's true. I agree. But then in her confessional, she said, oh, she doesn't agree with that. I was like, so why didn't she say it to Happy's face? I mean, why? Scared the cat. I really think that Mrs. Mobbs is scared of Happy, but why? Why though? Anyway, we saw Happy and her kid's nanny. So they were talking and this woman told Happy that she had a dream and Happy died. I was like, God forbid. And Happy was like, I'm sure she didn't also know how to react to that. My reaction while I was watching was I won't say it was funny, but it reminded me of what my mom would do when she's watching Nollywood. She would be like, you should plead the blood of Jesus, pray and reject it right now, And that's how I was rejecting it for Happy. I was like, the devil is a liar, cancel that dream. Anyway, I just pray that God will protect her because she said the nanny's dream always comes to pass, but this one will not come to pass. In Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, moving forward, Mrs. Mobbs and little Mr. Mobbs, they went quad biking. Mrs. Mobbs' kids are so witty, so smart. I love it. Oh, next thing, Miss Manche invited Nunu to come see her shapewear, and Nunu invited Ratile. And I guess Miss Manche didn't really like that. Then, when she was showing them the shapewear, showing them the details and all that, Ratile was like, nice. Miss Manche said in her confessional, nice. It's more than nice. It's high quality. Ciao. Yeah, because nice is just it's just there, it's the least thing you can say. So Ratile told them she met up with Happy and they talked about the clout chasing situation. She was like, she actually said it, and that did they know that at her Shisanyama, when they felt like they were in on a top secret mission or something like that, every other person there knew what they were talking about. Nunu said, no, Mrs. Mobbs didn't know. She said, Mrs. Mobbs knew. But that part was a little bit funny, okay? Miss Matcha was like, but for what though? For what? Why would she do that?
We're there for Yene. Don't you think there's a reason why? It's okay. We can be there for her. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I'm just saying that this is the one friend that I have that is different. And in this,
at this point, I felt like Ratile made a mistake even bringing this up. Miss Matcha said, why does it bother you this much? Ratile was like, it doesn't bother me. It's just that she's not like my other friends. Miss Matcha said, so are all your friends the same? She was like, that sounds a little bit classist. I don't know if that was exactly classism, but it did sound somehow, okay? It was kind of discriminatory, but I don't know. She was just trying to say, like, Happy is not the kind of person that will be my friend. She's not the kind of person that I roll with. And it's okay. It's okay to, have your kind of people. And that was what I thought Ratile was trying to say. At this point, Ratile was upset. She said, what do you mean classist? How does it sound classist? You're so invested in my friendship with Happy and my friendship with Tshego because, yeah, that was also a problem, Let's talk about your friend, Kefibu. Who threw who under the bus? Like, at this point, the conversation was not leading anywhere, okay? And finally, they gave Nunu some audience because Nunu had been wanting to talk. All this while, they will not let the lady speak. So she told them what transpired after they left that food and wine event. Anyway, it didn't end there because somehow Tshego managed to circle it back to telling Ratile off again. And it was just, I was tired. But we must stop here and talk about the next episode because this one is getting too long. Next episode started with Tshego gisting her mom, what she has been up to with these ladies. When she was talking about the Never Have I Ever game, her mom looked constipated. The woman was like, what? You really told some ladies you're getting to know that you had a one-night stand. I know. Unbelievable, right? You would think that these women have some tact, but at some point, Miss Matcha had to tell her mom, okay, mom, you can't afford to be judgmental right now. What was she expecting? Moving forward, Happy bought out a whole club because she's a big girl, okay? And she can. That's what she said. She invited everyone but Ratile. She said Her Majesty bought out an entire club. That's how big girls do. Not some dodgy place like some people. Miss Matcha said, speaking of Miss Dodgy, where is she? I was like, listen, Miss Matcha is shady. Shady. Oh my word. Happy said she didn't invite Ratile, that she's two-faced and rude and whatnot. And then Miss Matcha got into it as well because, of course, they have their own thing going on. She told them how Ratile attacked her because she told Her Majesty that story about her friend, Tshego, the other Tshego. Miss Matcha said she could have told her that day after they walked out. She said they met up at the garage and they talked about the clout chasing thing. They also talked about her own issue with Omukle. Nunu interjected there. She was like, apparently they are fans. Happy was like, we are fans? Nunu said, yes, now that's what Omukle called us fans. She said, oh my God. She said, you're a fan? Oh my God. I was like, what is this acting for? Nunu said Happy deserved an award for her acting. As in the way Nunu says the things that are on my mind in her confessional, I don't know how she does. Like, she thinks like a viewer sometimes as well. So Mrs. Moff said something to Nunu. She said, didn't you think that, that question you asked was a little bit below the belt? Nunu said, no, she didn't think so. Like, Miss Matcha was also saying, no, it wasn't below the belt. Then it turned into Mrs. Moff's bringing up the fact that Miss Matcha ran. I thought they did hash it out. So why is she bringing it up again? They did. In another scene, they did. I didn't just mention it. Miss Majesty said she expected Miss Mobbs to at least try to check up on her after she left that event. Mrs. Mobbs said she doesn't chase after anyone. Then they started the back and forth thing. Yeah. I don't do that. You should have done that. Miss Majesty said, okay, I see where we stand. Okay. I now understand the kind of friendship that we have, and that's fine. Then Mrs. Mobbs said, then you said you were not going to plan a birthday party for me because you don't like me that much. That hurts me deep. Just stop it now. Stop it now. As in, no. In her confessional, she was like, what is all this high school stuff? Like, really looked like high school stuff. Because, what? They finally stopped the high school bickering anyway. Fake drama. Yeah, I can't with those two. Like, I can't. They just want to bring some drama, but unfortunately, it's not landing well. Their drama is always screaming scripted, Moving forward, Happy bought a snake for her second daughter. I still can't call her name, okay? But what was so funny about this scene was the fact that when they were done buying the snake, the store owner asked her daughter to name her new pet. Her daughter said Kevin. Happy said no, Kesh. The girl said Kevin. Happy said Kesh. I mean, the girl insisted. Happy said no, Kesh is a good name. Kevin is a human's name. I was like, I was so funny because why not Kevin? Unless you know someone that's Kevin. She said, okay, if you won't name it Cash, name it Dollar. I was like, hey God, this one. She was also hilarious. Nunu invited Tshego and Happy to make jollof rice. Yes. Finally, Niger Jollof got a cameo. Yeah, Nunu said she also wanted to use that opportunity to ask Happy why she was pretending to not remember anything at the club. You know, what happened at the food and wine tasting. We finally saw Kat again. He said he's been booked and busy. Back in the kitchen, Nunurai was like, Happy, I have a bone to pick with you. Why did you act all surprised at the club with the whole fan thing? Happy said, but she really didn't remember. They have been drinking and all of that. Honestly, at this point, I felt like, okay, it's really possible that she didn't remember. Because remember, right there, after Nunu left, Mrs. Mobbs had to tell Her Majesty what Nunu said. And she was like, right there, she was like, really? Did she say that? Anyway, they were all tipsy that night. So yeah. Nunu said, obviously, she only said what she said about her fiance, you know, when she told her that she needed to be careful and all that, because she was genuinely concerned. And she said she had a theory, but she doesn't know if Happy is ready for that conversation. Happy said, nah. Happy, obviously, her body language would even tell you, like, back off, okay? She was like, I know this guy and I know where we are coming from. Like, whatever advice you want to give, it will not stop how I feel, you know. I was tired at this point for Happy. I was, because she has said time and time again, I don't need your advice. I'm not a child. I can make my own decisions. Okay? So I was exhausted for her that Nunu was still talking about this, you know, this situation. Until Nunu said, are we having a realistic conversation or are we being delusional? I was like, that really caught me off guard. I was like, what? She's like one person that will say what is on her mind, you know. Miss Mancha will just be there. She's feeling the same thing, but she won't say it. But then Nunu will say it and she'll be like, yeah, you know, that what she's trying to say is, But as much as I agree with Nunu, she needed to drop it, okay? I feel like you can only be like that with someone that's your bestie, you know. Those are the people that you can tell the truth even if they don't like it. If not, just mind your business, you know, mind your business. Then next scene, Happy called her man and reported everything to him. Typical puppy love phase. And that's why you don't advise people that are in love, people that are in that infatuation stage of love. You don't do that because they just go back and repeat the whole thing and it always backfires, okay? And yeah, of course, we've heard snippets of this story from Happy. But when her fiance was talking about what he went through, I really wanted to hear Happy's fiance's story because it sounded like it was a lot. It sounded like he went through a lot. It sounded scary. Anyway, he spoke with her, gassed her up, you know. That's what women like, you know. Before we knew it, Happy was like thanking him for coming back into her life, thanking him for loving her. I was like, oh God, friends in the mud. Moving forward, we saw Miss Manche's product photo shoot. Nunurai was a part of it. I love that. They all looked good. I didn't know Nunu was a professional model. No wonder. This was the last scene. Ratile met with Miss Manche to iron out things. And when she got there, it was like Miss Manche was literally spitting fire, except that the fire was not real. Okay? It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't real. Did anyone believe she was really angry like that? Did anyone really believe that fight? Because I didn't, okay? And I feel like I'm just stating the obvious when I say she was acting. Like, it was all acting. It wasn't real. Miss Manche went straight to it. She called Ratile a snake in the first few sentences. I was like, what the? You know, I understand she was angry, but that was provocation right there, you know. BBN fans. I hope BBN fans are watching this video. Yeah, Yeah, for someone that said that there was nothing there, I was wondering, why did she have so much reaction to this thing? Like, why did she have so much reaction to it? And I've been trying to find out, like, what happened between Miss Manche and this lady, Kefi Boo. I've asked it before, no one really answered me, but I would want to know because there's nothing out there. I've tried to check. Anyway, she was huffing and puffing, ranting, saying everything. And Ratile allowed her. Ratile just allowed her to talk. And when she was done, Ratile said, okay, you know what? First off, I'm not a snake. A snake will say things at your back. I said it to your face, okay? She said, I didn't tell you at the garage because I didn't think it was the place. Tshego went off again. She was like, you should have, we talked, we uplifted ourselves, laughed with each other, all of that. That was your opportunity to say it. Actually, from everything that she said, they shared a moment, okay? I feel like her anger was really coming from the fact that Ratile still had something in mind for her, even after they shared a moment. So yeah, after calling each other snaky and fishy and all of, it was really surprising to see that Ratile all of a sudden sobbing and apologizing, saying to Tshego, Tshego, I'm not this kind of person. I don't like to do this kind of thing. I'm not that. I was like, what changed? And then Tshego was like, okay, and I'm sorry for calling you a snake. Side eye, bombastic side eye. It de-escalated very quickly as it escalated. And that's why it looked very fake, okay? Because the way Tshego is quick to apologize and accept apologies, that makes her conflicts look fake. This is the fourth time that I'm actively observing it, actually. In this episode, she actually did it twice with Mrs. Mobs. Immediately after they, back and forth. Next thing was like, I'm sorry, just like that. You would think that people that were in a heated moment just now will, take some time to simmer down. You don't just switch like that. But that was it. They apologized to each other. And this episode ended right here. I know it was a long one, but thank you so much for sticking to the end. Thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe already if you haven't. And don't forget to hit the like button. See you soon. Oh yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. Guys, I live for these comments, okay? So please let me know what you think. And see you soon. Love you.